Okay, so we are looking at solving inequalities first by addition and subtraction. So we're in section 5.1 at this time. So we're going to start by looking at the inequality symbols. Greater than looks like this. Greater than or equal to like this. Less than or equal to, and then does not equal. Okay. When you are graphing each of these results on a number line, when you have greater than or less than, you're going to graph with an open circle because that means that the number cannot work for that solution. If you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you will graph with a solid circle. So, for example, we'll do an example of each. If I have x is greater than 2, I would have my number line 0, 1, 2. And since it's greater than and not equal to, I would do an open circle. And since it's greater than, it's going to be going towards the positive numbers. Greater than or equal to, we do a solid circle. And it goes towards the positives, okay? Because that means that it can actually equal 2. X is less than 2 is going to be an open circle. That means that it's going to go to the left. It's going to go to the lower numbers. X is less than or equal to 2 will be a solid circle because that means it can equal 2, and it's going to be going to the left, because it's less than. And the last one is just does not equal. So we have an open circle on 2. Moving up to the top here, the solution to an inequality is all numbers that satisfy the inequality. For example, for x is greater than 2, any of the numbers that are greater than 2 are going to work for this inequality. I could plug in 3. 3 is greater than 2. I could plug in 4. 4 is greater than 2. Okay, any of the numbers on this side of my dot are going to work. However, 2 is not going to work because 2 is not greater than 2. But if I were to go down here, I could pick, again, any numbers. Up here, I could pick 1,000,000. I could pick 100. I could pick 3. I could pick 2.1. I could also pick 2 though, because 2 is greater than or equal to 2. So we're going to start with some very basic ones here. So we have, when you're solving a inequality, you're going to solve like an equation. Solve it exactly like an equation, except for you're just going to graph it differently. So what's happening to r is that it's being added by 19. So let's subtract 19. And we get that r is greater than or equal to 16 minus 19, which is negative 3. So we have our number line, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. You are always going to make sure that you rewrite it so that the variable is first, and always say the variable first when you're graphing it. R is greater than or equal to negative 3. So since it has that equals on it, it's going to be a solid circle. That means that negative 3 will satisfy this inequality. Since it's greater than, it's going to be going towards the positive numbers. And that would be your solution to your inequality. Moving on to example 3. 7 is less than x minus 4. Well, we're going to go through the same process here. We're going to solve for the variable to figure out what values of x will satisfy the inequality. Well, in order to isolate x, I need to add 4 to both sides. And I get 11 less than x. Now this is what I was talking about in the first problem when I say you always need to make sure that you read the variable first. This is technically 11 is less than x, or you would read this as x is greater than 11. Always read the variable first, okay? And whichever way it's opening towards the variable is the way that you're going to say it out loud and the way that you're going to graph it. So if this was 9, 10, 11, and 12, I would read my variable first, or you could also just rewrite it like so, as long as you keep the alligator mouth opening towards x. And x is greater than 11. So I do open on 11 because 11 cannot be included, okay, it cannot equal 11. And it's greater than, so I go to the right. I go towards the positive ones.